Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode this week of In Conversation with me, your host Nyki Elle. I am in my holiday festiveness. This is actually my last In Conversation for this season, for the year, which is crazy. We're about to be in 2021. So I decided to bring a little festive shine to match my glamorous Christmas tree behind me. But thank you guys so much for joining again. I really appreciate you. Tonight's episode, I have two awesome guests. And they are enthusiasts in two really interesting areas. First, I'll have Beneque, and she's my friend. We've actually gone back since like middle school. We've been friends a really long time. And she and Beneque actually started a really cool initiative where she supports all Black-owned businesses, and specifically Black women-owned businesses. And so we're going to talk to her about some of her favorites, some things she's realized, and really give a couple tips, her faves, and what could be potentially great gifts if you guys are still looking for gifts for your loved ones and want to support Black businesses. So Beneque will be telling us about that. And then I have Dree, who's my line sister, who will be, she actually has a dope bookstagram page called Reading with Glamour. And so we're going to talk to her, one, about her journey, but also some great books that she's read and books that would make great gifts for loved ones and all of that. So it's going to be a really exciting episode. I'm super glad to have these two dear friends of mine as guests as I close out the season. And, I really thought it was important and just sort of an interesting point of view. I've had small business owners and home or handmade craftsmen on my show for this holiday series, and so now I'm really kind of tapping into actual consumers, the people who have actually tried and read these things, and really kind of giving firsthand accounts, because word of mouth is a legit way to get the word out, to grow your business. And so I thought, what better way to kind of round out this Holi-YAY Edition of In Conversation than to have two enthusiasts who can give their own points of view on some really dope products, books, items. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and join in Beneque, who will be my first guest, and she should be on momentarily. So we're gonna get started with her. Let's see, she's coming, connecting. Hey girl.
Hey, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. You look great.
Okay.
Red lip
Thank
is
you.
Oh, lip is popping, okay? Popping. All. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Trying to stay festive and not in the snow. So I'm trying to stay dry.
Nyki also has a really fabulous Christmas tree that you guys can see like a part of at the top, but it's great.
She's about 5 feet tall. I haven't named her yet, so I'm not sure what her name is going to be. But she spoke to me when I saw her, so.
That is a Nyki tree. It looks great though.
Yes, Beneque has known me a very long time, so she knows for sure. Oh man. So how's it been? You're out of the snow, right? Has it started snowing?
Yes, there is a full snowstorm happening behind.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It looks like that in Harlem too.
Behind me. So I've been inside.
Yes.
The same place I've been since like March. So, I'm used to it. I'm good.
Here.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm good.
So, well, thank you so much for being a guest.
Of course.
And so I'm really excited to hear lots of things from you, some of your favorite products and things. But as we get started, first, if you share a little bit about your story, your journey for people who don't know. And also, I think it's interesting for you to know what you do by day. Like, what is your life? And then we'll transition into support and all that.
Okay. Also, I don't live far from a fire station, so if the block is hot, I am sorry. Just to start there. But yeah, so a little bit about me. So my name is Beneque, for those of you that I don't know. By day, I am a senior director at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City, and I'm a part-time adjunct professor at NYU. So very policy nerdy stuff I do all the time, and I'm super passionate about it. But yeah, so that's like my regular day to day. So
okay. Awesome. And then where are you from?
Yes, of course. So I'm from Michigan originally, right outside Detroit. That's how Nyki and I met. Live in New York now. been in New York for 6 years. I came here for grad school, so I cannot believe it's been that long. But yes, based in Brooklyn, and just enjoying this New York life. So it's been great.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's get into Support Black Women, which
Okay.
is started on your Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
I would this what inspired you to start it and like your idea behind this series.
Yeah, so as you guys can imagine, right? So working in healthcare this year has been nothing anybody really expected, right? And it's been super, super stressful. So I had to find like new and fun ways to tap into things that bring me peace and bring me joy. And that's always been like beauty and hair and clothes and like that kind of stuff for me. And I think, I just kind of got to a point where I was like, I kind of want to do something to show people all of the great places and great businesses and stuff that I found over the years. So my boyfriend and I pretty regularly, go to Black businesses in Brooklyn. And now that, even though we're home, I was like, I can still show people, great businesses and stuff. So yeah, I started a series. It's called Support Black Women, and it's really focusing on Black women-owned organizations in different areas, and fitness and beauty and clothing and stuff. I'll be getting there eventually, but started it a couple months ago, and it's been really fun. I've actually gotten to have a lot of really great interactions with a lot of Black women-owned businesses, and people are super supportive, and you'd be surprised how hands-on a lot of small businesses, well, I was super surprised how hands-on a lot of the businesses were, and like they don't have other people handling their marketing and other stuff, and they see everything, right? So they were definitely, I've gotten really great reception over the last couple of months. So it's been fun. It's been great because I think we are such a big part of the consumer, spender base. And we don't, why not put that money back into our businesses, right? And back into our community. So if the Black dollar is worth so much, we might as well invest in ourselves. So yeah, that's really why I started it, just to highlight really great Black-owned businesses that are, created and run by women that I, use anyway. And I'm like, I should tell more people about this. So that's really where it started.
That's awesome. And also I think you are essentially like using your voice. Like we all have a voice. We all have a particular like sphere of influence. So you're just sharing that with your circle.
Yeah. So it's been awesome.
Good. And what's up to everybody joining? I saw Brian, I saw Chris, I saw Tara. So hey everybody. Also let me know if I'm clear, if I'm pixelated, the internet be playing, and it's like a blizzard outside. So
it's a solid blizzard in New York right now. So if
sorry.
we're pixelated, sorry.
Sorry. But we'll try. So how did you even find businesses in general, the ones that you started with, but like a lot of times it's hard to identify Black-owned businesses.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So how did you find the businesses in all these different areas?
So I kind of started around the time that there was just a huge influx of police brutality and, folks that look like us dying in the streets pretty regularly. And there was a lot of focus on Black-owned businesses by, huge corporations. But the stuff that I saw, I felt like it was the same things that I would always see. Like, I was like, there are a lot of Black-owned businesses, and there's a lot of Black-owned businesses that don't just do like Black shirts with white words on them. And those are great, right? But there's a lot more out there. And I was like, I'm going to find these people, right? So honestly, I just started searching for hashtags. Like I started with, I already knew a lot of Black-owned beauty and hair companies just because that's something that I'm super interested in. But when I started to get outside of like my own little bubble, I honestly was in the hashtags on Instagram. I was like, let me search for Black-owned fitness brands, or let me search for Black-owned stationery or Black-owned homeware, like all of this stuff, right? Like home goods and everything else. And I kind of got down a rabbit hole. And then once you're there, you're like in there, right? So I definitely started with hashtags, and that's how I found people, because it was before they started doing, it was before they started having like some of the huge areas, like huge platforms that really highlight a lot of Black businesses. There
Right.
is one that I was a big fan of, which is called Black Owned Brooklyn, but they were only really spotlighting Black owned businesses in Brooklyn. So I was like, all right, that I live in Brooklyn, but I want to get, larger than just outside my window. So hashtags, if you can believe it.
Oh, that's awesome. So what are some surprising things you've discovered since you've been going into these supporting Black businesses?
So I think some of the things that have been the most surprising to me are fitness, right? So I have joined the Peloton crew like a couple months ago and have been going pretty hard. But I was for as much as Black people are athletes and are, people that wear a lot of like athletic wear and fitness wear and all of that stuff, I could not for the life of me find a ton of women-owned, Black-owned fitness brands. And I would find them, and sometimes it would be like, I'd be like, did they, I'd be like, is this theirs? Is there something they're partnering on? Like, is this something they're, super interested in? Are they just trying to sell like leggings, or can I really work out? Right? Because
Is it like athleisure fashion?
Right. I was like, there's a difference between me trying to go to the store and me doing like 10 miles on a bike and not having everything fall apart. So I found a great brand. It's JDAO Fitness for the women who are watching, who are interested in a Black-owned fitness apparel brand. I have honestly probably about 5 or 6 sets, and they're wonderful. And I paid for them all with my own money and all of that stuff, but like I had put them through the ringer over the last couple months, and they've been great. So I think I was just surprised about.
They support you and all of that.
Oh yes, no, I'm in there. We're in there. Like there's nothing's moving around. Like you're good, right? But I think I was just more surprised about areas where I would expect a lot of Black-owned businesses, or like traction there weren't as many. And fitness was one that I was kind of the most surprised about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into some of your favorites. I know you just brand, but let's just some of your favorites. Just tell us the industry, the company.
Okay. So it's a lot. So we're going to run down a couple different areas and
Good.
You said what?
You got like 17 minutes. We're good. We got time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So let's start with fitness. So I highlighted JDAO Fitness, who is based in Atlanta, a Black-owned business, great, really comfortable and affordable. I also wear the Gym Wrap, which is by Nicole Ari Parker, which is really great for men and women because you don't sweat out your edges. And some of you men, I know you care about your edges too. So that's really great. I have a little list so I didn't forget anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Good to see y'all. Yes.
Beauty, which is my jam, right?
Yeah.
So Pat McGrath, who Nikki and I share a love for her products. She is the best mascara I've ever used. I'm wearing it now.
Mascara.
So good, Nikki. It's so good. It's so good. And that's Sephora. The Beauty Bakery, which is my go-to for concealer. I have rough days, with the bags, and it gets you together. So Beauty Bakery is great.
Okay.
Juvia's Place has really fun eyeshadows and highlighter and all kind of stuff. And I'm just starting to get into eyeshadows. My makeup routine has been the same for like 15 years. So stepping out on faith, but trying new stuff there.
Before you go, where are these brands that you've mentioned so far located?
Oh, okay, yes. So Pat McGrath is at where can you buy it or where they're based?
Oh, I guess both. Where can you
Yeah.
buy it if you know where they're based? That would be great.
Ooh, I'm like quizzing me. So Pat McGrath you can definitely buy at Sephora.
Yep.
I think she's based in California, but don't give me the lion. Beauty Bakery. Beauty Bakery you can buy at Ulta or you can buy on their website. Juvia's Place, I got it from their website. I'm not sure what other third-party carriers you could buy them from.
Okay.
Fenty, which was my next one, which is, you know, everybody's favorite. That's the lip I'm wearing now. It's my jam.
Beautiful.
They have great matte lipsticks, so, you know, but everybody does Fenty. And the other one, which I really, really love, is the Crayon Case, which is based in New Orleans. They have really, really fun, like vibrant colors, really like blinding highlighter. It's great. It's great. And it's black owned, black woman owned. So that's awesome. So that's beauty.
Okay. Hope
Next,
I'm gonna have to circle back on some of these because
I'm making a list. I got a list. I'll send it to you. Okay, so next I have women's clothing, right? So favorite black-owned brands that do women's clothing or are unisex. So Pierre Moss, right? Unisex. Or in some like women's clothing, but mostly unisex, right? Everybody knows Pierre Moss. There is a Atlanta-based shop called The Vault by Sasha, which is great. She picks really great pieces from different businesses and stuff, and it's just like it's a really great shop for a lot of really good staple pieces, which I really love. Megan. Hey guys. Hey Venetia.
Thank you for beautiful smiles. He said, "Thank you so much. Thank you."
Thanks, Blake. Okay, so Megan Renee, who's actually a designer who was on an Amazon design show called
Oh, I know who that is. Yes, I watched the show.
Yes.
I
got some of her clothes.
Oh.
I love them. They're great.
Okay. I had definitely
they're great.
I watched
that's
all the shows. The Project Runway.
Yes. Okay, who else? Oh, The Chemist, who is a black-owned business and designer. She's based in the UK. So she has a lot of like really dope, unique pieces that are really fun. I don't even know how I found her, to be honest with you. More hashtags, right? So Sammy B Designs, who I don't know where she's based. She's in the States for sure. But you said what?
She was on Project Runway too.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Nicole. Yes, she was on Project Runway, and Beyonce has worn some of her stuff. So if that is if that's something that's gonna get you there, she's great. And the Dirt label, who I'm wearing right now from home. This is a little Martin T-shirt. They do. They're based in Detroit, and they do a lot of like really fun vintage T-shirts and a bunch of other stuff. So that's what I had for women's clothes.
Yes.
Next, hair accessories. Okay, so as I mentioned, hair and beauty are my jam, right? So as far as accessories, my favorite headbands on are from the Rap Life, which is based in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And they have like satin lined headbands and just like really fun colors, and they wash really well. They're great.
Oh, good.
And the other one that I had was called You Go Natural, which is actually satin lined head wraps, and they're pre-tied. It's a game changer. It's great. It's great. When I don't really feel like doing my hair, I'm like,
that's it.
Here, it fits my head. You know, they're just positive things. So
all these things.
Always really important, right? Like it's never a given. So what else do I have? Home. Okay, so home was my last category. And so two areas or places that I really, really love. One is called Rayo and Honey.
Okay.
She's based in Brooklyn, and she makes handmade pendants, which say like really powerful sayings. We have one downstairs, and it says "Young, Gifted, and Black." I have one in our guest room, which we got, that said, you know, we're happy that you're here. There is nevertheless she persisted, and all this other just really amazing stuff. And she made Oprah's favorite things this year, so that
Uh,
was huge because she's like a small business.
right.
So yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome.
And then the last one is called Black Market Vintage. They're also based in Brooklyn. I know, a lot of Brooklyn places.
As long as they ship
Uh,
across the country,
they they do ship everywhere, but they have a lot of great vintage HBCU attire. They
hmm.
have like Letterman jackets. They have just a lot of really great, very Black like things that I feel like are, you know, keepsakes that you really need in your home, like Jet magazines and just all of the stuff that I feel like we grew up, that we saw at our parents' houses, that we saw at our grandparents' houses, and they're just really nice staples to have, you know, around the home.
Yeah.
So those are two things that like are scattered around our house. That is, it's great.
Okay. Well,
And
this was
that's a lot of stuff.
it was
Sorry, it's a lot of stuff.
a follow-up post or a
Yes,
story.
I will. I will send you everything so
Yes.
so that you got it.
Outlet the brands. That's awesome. And
Yeah,
that's just a little bit of what you found, right? That's just like your top.
yeah. That's not like everything. So those are just some of my favorites.
Mhm.
So
Nice. So how have, if at all, but how have you been sort of impacted, or like have there been any lifestyle changes since you have decided to really focus on like supporting Black businesses and Black women and any of that?
um, I think word of mouth is more powerful than I realized. To be honest with you, I
Mm,
think
yeah.
doing some of the reviews and stuff that I've been able to do, or even like wearing things and posting them in my stories or whatever social medium, right? Like people ask a lot of really great questions, and then I start getting pictures to my phone like 2 or 3 weeks later, and people are like, "Oh, I got it! Like I got the same thing. It was great." And I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing!" Right? So I think word of mouth is really powerful, and it doesn't always have to be like these big, again, marketing schemes and all this other stuff. I think
Right.
telling people about great experiences that you've had is more rare than people think, right? I think a lot of the time people spend most of their time focusing on things that didn't go well, and there's all these other things that went well, and you're like, hey, you can mention those. So it's been great. It's that piece has been really awesome.
That's great. And that, I mean, to me, that also goes back to like finding your voice, like whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
what you're passionate about, and like, investing your time in that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been great.
So let's see. I'm trying to think if I had any other questions, but you just like got to so many things already. And I was like, I don't think
I was like, we're gonna go through these in the
it was,
different areas
I
just
was
so we can talk about it.
yes. So what are you, or do you have any particular, going into 2021, I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they're goals, but just like certain maybe industries you haven't really tapped into, you kind of want to
Yeah.
look at, or anything like that?
So funny enough, outside of Black-owned businesses, one of the other things that I really love is gardening. Funny enough,
Hmm.
so and Nikki knows this because I've shared a bunch of pictures and stuff with her. But I really want to get more into, or just find other like Black people that love to garden, or that make gardening tools, or like have things that are not just like potted plants. And no shade to potted plants, I have a lot, I love them, right? But just like growing food and growing herbs, and like really starting to I did some of this summer, but just really using and cooking what you're growing, and all of that has been really fun for me. So I think next year, one area that I want to focus more on is like the food aspects of Black-owned businesses, not just like where I go to eat, but like ingredients for cooking or great spices, or just trying things from different areas and broadening my scope to more than just like the States, right? Like what are people doing elsewhere and all of that. So
awesome. Well, I thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
And some things with us, and I know she's going to tell me all these companies, and we'll do
it. I'll write them all down.
Oh, because I didn't write them down, but they also. But thank you so much, Beneque. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I'll talk to you in like a half an hour.
Oh, it's time.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay. So that was my friend Beneque. She just dropped some amazing gems on all these dope Black-owned businesses in so many different industries, fashion, fitness, home decor. So she's going to give me the list. I'll do a follow-up post so I can share everything with you guys. Now switching gears, I'm about to call in Dree, my line sister, who is also the wonderful woman behind Reading with Glamour. She's a bookstagrammer. And so we're going to find out just her story, how she got there, and then get her insight on some different books in terms of gifting and things like that. So we're about to get into it. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Lighting, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I had to look cute for you.
So cute.
Look, I saw your previous guest, and I was like, let me put on a lip. Wait a minute, we putting on lips.
You know, I just get excited that I can dress for something. Like, yes, I'm home, but at least I'm connecting with everybody through my phone. Like,
that's true.
Something.
That is true.
Yes. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being on here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm nervous, which is so crazy. It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. And if you're like, and once we finish, and we're done, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I loved it. I want to do more. Because that's how it was for me. I was so nervous. I was probably shaking where you couldn't see, my knees probably shaking on my first one. Oh my gosh, how's it going? Up, and I was like, that's great. Let me do more. 27 episodes in. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I looked at the numbers. I was like, I've done how many of these?
And it just started out of quarantine.
Yeah, it was really quarantine. In the beginning when no one really knew, jobs didn't know what to do, anything. Look at your phone, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then so many people just popped up, and I was following people more and just seeing I know people doing dope things, or they have dope businesses, or just their stories. And so I really like to connect with people doing really cool things, highlight them, give them a chance to share their story, and just hopefully inspire other people watching. So that's how I started.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool, because usually before quarantine everybody's going, doing, wake up, go to work. And it's just, I think people have really, like me, have kind of come into different hobbies and interests. And people are doing woodwork, and
people I've been speaking to started full businesses. Maybe they started a candle company in quarantine. So it's so cool to find out. So, all right. Well, I see Line Sisters. I saw a bar. Goodness, they kept going. I don't.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for joining. Feel free.
Yes, Big Sister Sonia, Sister Barbara. Glam on the Hill, the infamous Jelena, Chris.
So we thank you guys for joining us. So Dree, let's just start with your story, your background, where are you from? How'd you get to here? What's your day job? Let's get into your story.
Okay. I was born and raised. No, I'm joking. From Stone Mountain, Georgia. I say Atlanta. Well, Atlanta, like we say, but I'm really from Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is like a suburb.
Okay.
Of Atlanta, and born and raised there. Went to Howard University, HU.
You know.
So I'm a huge have a lot of pride, like all bison do, right? When you go to Howard, it's like in your blood, in your bones.
Runs in there.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like fast forwarding, but out of college I started teaching. And I remember my first day of teaching, I was like, oh hell nah, I ain't doing that for the rest of my life. You come into education with these big visions and dreams, and those kids kicked my butt.
Oh no.
Kicked my butt. But I was in a 2-year program, Teach for America. So, I was always taught, you start what you finish. Nothing's going to be easy. And if you are looking for easy, you'll never end up doing anything because, like you'll always be starting over because nothing worth having is easy. So I did that. I don't really talk about this part, but I went to New York for a year. We don't need to discuss that part. Then I came back and I got my master's in counseling, mental health counseling, and I thought that I wanted to work outside of the school, outside of education, but I worked for a psychiatric hospital and was like, hell nah, I ain't doing that. And so I went back to working in education as a school counselor. So that's what I'm doing now. I love it. Okay, so let me say, I really, really like it. Okay. Love is something that you do that you wouldn't get paid for. No, I'm gonna need my check on the 15th and the 30th, and it bet not be late. Okay, so I really, really like my job. Love, you wouldn't have to pay me, but so I enjoy elementary students are definitely my jam. Okay, as people say, I definitely middle school and high school, you get into different. They're having sex and cyberbullying and,
It gets heavy.
My credits and this and that. And because of you, I'm not graduating. Girl, I don't need that stress in my life. Give me the crying and the snot and I want a hug and, can you help me tie my shoe and, excited about the ABC. So anyway, right. So that's what I do during the day. And I'm married. I've been married for 10 years, girl. I say that and it's like, I feel like an old woman. Like, I've been married for 10 years, honey. And it's crazy. I got married young, but 10 years and we're still hanging in there. Nothing about what we have is perfect, and but it's worth it. So,
out to Rashad.
Yeah, hey Rashad. What else? No children. We're working on that. So positive vibes. If there are some prayer warriors on here, put my name on the list.
Yes.
Put my name on the list. And yeah, is that?
No, that was great. That was
okay. Okay. Cool.
We'll pop in. What's up, Lala? Lala said that is you. When you said you got the old soul, Lala said that.
Smash! I know. Grandma. I'm called Grandma often, but
we got HBC Love in here. So thank you guys so much for joining. This is super exciting. So how did you get into being a bookstagrammer? Can we talk about what a bookstagrammer is? And then how you got to with glamour, how you got the name, like all of this. Let's get into that journey.
So a bookstagrammer is a person that reads and posts books on Instagram.
Okay.
That's it. But you have to read it. You can't be like just cute with it. Like, no, did you read it? Write that review. Write the review. Okay. So we bookstagrammers, if you fake, they will call you out. Like, how was the book? What was in the book? Did you really read the book? Who was the author? How many pages was the book? Who published the book? You ain't read it. They will call you out. But so a bookstagrammer is a person that reads books and posts about their books and anything bookish. So I mean, I might not read, but I might post a picture, buy some books, or it could be people mix books with there's like bookstagrams for like tea and books, and so they'll talk about their tea of the day, and then fashion and books. Fashionably Reads is on here. These girls, I mean, they are like top notch fashion, and they'll put a cute book with it. I'm like, what? It's a whole world.
I had no idea that there was
girl. I didn't either.
So when you started, you didn't know.
No. So I was dealing with some anxiety. It was just a lot when quarantine hit, and it's crazy. I am a homebody, so I love being at home. Mm-hmm. But the anxiety is like how I don't have to get up and go to work in the morning, but I'm not able to sleep at night. I was just dealing with a lot. And so I was talking to my counselor about it, and she said, well, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I'm eating. I was literally just eating. I would go through a can of Pringles in like 4 hours, like every day. Like I was just eating, and I didn't have anything constructive that I could do inside the house.
Okay.
So she said, your assignment, because she gave me an assignment every time we met, your assignment is to find a hobby, find something positive that you can do. Yeah. And so I, it had a week to figure it out. And so I was on Amazon, and Terry McMillan's It's Not All Downhill From Here was coming out. It was published March 31st. Okay. So I bought I was like, let me, see what this is about. So I bought it, and I followed her on Twitter. She's funny. Mm-hmm. But I followed her, so I bought the book. And then I just, started reading it. And I also was on Instagram. I created a totally different page. I have a page that's just for people who know me, college, church. And then I was like, I don't want to bother them with my shenanigans. Because when you kind of flip the switch, yeah, on your page, people are like, girl, what you doing? Girl, mute. So I decided, well, let me just move my interest to a different page. So I started from zero, and I also was posting different artwork that I liked. So Bisa Butler, was on there, and any artist. I was following a lot of artists, because just looking at art, brings me joy. One day I would love to have a lot of art. Art is expensive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, child.
Yes, it is.
It's like, you want a house or you want a piece of art? Which one you want? It's really expensive. So I was posting art, and then the first book that I read was It's Not All Downhill From Here. Girl, didn't even realize what I was doing. So I posted a little selfie, little cute selfie, and then I wrote a little paragraph, and then I used the hashtag quarantine reading, because that's what I was doing, quarantine reading. Girl, people started liking it, and I was like, people. Now at that point, I probably had like 50 followers. Okay. Like my husband and then like random people. And so this girl, Jamilian at It's a Bookish World, she made a comment, and I was like, It's a Bookish World? Let me click. Girl, I looked on her page. She had a whole bunch of pictures of books, and I'm like, people do this shit? Like what? Oh my God. And so she is black, and one thing about African American women, we just got that connection. You know what I mean? Like we just got that connection, and I didn't hesitate. I just reached out to her. I DM'd her. I said, hey, people post books. She was like, yeah, girl, it's Bookstagram. What? Bookstagram. Okay. What? Okay. She said, yeah, just read your book and post about it like you did. Like that's how you found me. And so she was like, just look at some of the people that I follow. Those are bookstagrammers. So I looked and they were all white. And I was like, sorry, my nose is running, but I was like, okay, you know. So then I reached back out to her. I said, hey, are there any sisters? You know, I'm all for all colors of the world.
Yes.
Jesus loves all the children.
Yes.
But I need some, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
I need some sisters. So she was like, oh yeah, follow this girl. She sent me Melanated Reader. She sent me Pages Galore. She sent me KB. Like, she sent me like to Cree. And these are, you know, girls that are women, bookstagrammers that I follow now who have pretty much ushered me in and taken me in. And,
That's
you know, it's crazy. It's actually a little bit, I mean, to the point where we connected over books, and I will just call one of the girls on Instagram, what you reading? What you doing? It's been really cool. So to answer your question, that's how I got, and then from there, I took off all the art and I was like, let me just be a bookstagrammer. Let me just see, you know, and then I just started reading more, posting it, and here I am with you.
That's awesome. Okay. Cool. Candace said, hey. Lindsay said that. Beautiful. Topo, we said, hey, Linz.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, again, Bianca. Okay. Oh my goodness. I missed so many comments. I'm so sorry, y'all. Cocktails and books. I think when we were talking about categories, Imperfectly Perfect Mama loves your nails, Dree.
Oh, thank you, Sonya. Big sister.
Yeah, let me see. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, y'all. I've been missing all.
Oh yeah, so Pages Galore said the collective. So there's this group of Black girls, bookstagrammers, and they're the collective.
Okay.
And it's a bookish world. Jamilian, she's a part of that group. So now that I think about it, all the girls that she sent me was a part of this collective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We had a question in the question box. This is from Maggie the Reader. Favorite books that you've read this year?
Favorite books. I brought some. Okay, so top notch. Bernice McFadden, Sugar. I mean, and anybody who asks, what should I read first? You got her. This book is so good. I don't even understand why it's not a New York Times bestseller. Like, it's so good. First of all, it came out.
Oh, okay. I couldn't read.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is This Bitter Earth. This is the sequel. This is Sugar. I'm sorry.
Sugar. Okay.
Yeah, Sugar. Sorry about that. So Sugar, by Bernice McFadden. It's a beautiful story about a woman who experiences a lot of trauma. You know, like sometimes we're just dealt these cards, and it's really about the cards that she's dealt and how she comes out of it stronger. And you know, she meets a wiser woman who, I'm not going to tell you the connection, but she meets this woman who has lost her daughter, and she reminds the woman of her daughter. And there's a reason why. So, you know, she just experiences all this trauma, and she always ends up standing on her feet.
Okay.
It's a beautiful story, and it's historic fiction. So I love to read stories about Black women in the South, and maybe because I think about the women in my family from the South. So, and then the sequel is This Bitter Earth. So if you read Sugar, if you're thinking, I don't want to get into reading, you got to read Sugar, and immediately after, you have to read This Bitter Earth.
Okay, so like have to be back to back.
Has to be. It's an experience.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Okay, so how many books since you've started officially becoming a bookstagrammer? How many have you read?
21.
Wow, since March, April?
Since I started in April. I made my first post in May, but I started reading in April. But here's the thing, girl. These bookstagrammers, they be reading like 60. I'm like, y'all don't work. Y'all got some sugar daddies, some sugar mamas. Y'all sitting at home reading. Y'all don't have to work. I mean, they're you're reading like 60 and 100 books. How Sway?
Listen, that's amazing. I am not a quick reader. Like I have books. Usually it takes me months to get through books. But the problem is I stop and I like let all this time pass and I come back and I don't remember all the characters and I'm like,
okay, you know what? I'm just like you. And so what I do is I use one of my credits on Audible.
oh.
So the author is getting double my money. So I'm reading and I'm listening because my attention span, girl, I'm reading, but I'm thinking about that bill I got to pay on the 12th. And do I have enough money to pay the bill? Oh, shoot. I need to go get some pads. They got my cycle coming on.
All the
Girl.
oh.
Like, did I pray today? Dang, I didn't pray today. I need to call my mama. Shoot, I need some toilet tissue. Girl!
All of that.
Put that audio in your ear because I am with you. So, you know.
Maybe I'll try because I have, oh my goodness, there's so many comments. Man, y'all are really reading. First of all, many of them said they do work. They work. They just read too. Someone has 85 books. I think I saw 70 books. Like, y'all are killing me.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? So what's interesting is like in the first few months, and I realized a lot of people, it was May, June, and people had already read like 40 and 50 books. It's crazy. You know how like you can be on Instagram and you see a pretty girl and she has the house and you might like compare yourself and her skin and her clothes. Girl, I'm comparing myself like, dang, I read one book, she read 25. Girl!
Yeah,
How you on Instagram comparing yourself to somebody? That's crazy. So
right.
I was like, you know what? This is stupid. I am not comparing myself. If I read one book in 2 months, then damn it, that's what it is.
You're right. Listen, you are putting me to shame. I started 2 books since March and finished 0. I finished one that I started pre-quarantine, and I've been this other one this whole time. So
but you know what? Because somebody asked me, my Ooh La La sisters, they were asking me, you know, how do you get it in the groove? And you know what? Reading is like working out. You either prioritize it or you don't. You either make time for it or you don't. And that's really what it is. And because I was into really hardcore into fitness last year, that's what I compare it to. So when I'm like, oh, I don't feel like reading it. Oh, okay, well, don't say I didn't finish it. You just have to make the time for it.
Oh, that's such a good point. Because I hadn't really thought about it like that, but you're right. Oh my goodness, the comments, they just coming. Y'all are being so
girl, those are my line sisters, big sisters, bookstagram sisters.
Yes, Maggie the reader said y'all are amazing. Thank you, Maggie. Yes, exactly. Yes, loving the exchange. Thank you guys so much. It's been amazing. Also, sidebar, I know we're talking about reading with glamour, but she touched very briefly on her fitness journey last year. And if y'all are aware, find out because she was killing the game in a whole nother level. I'll just leave it there. I'm just saying.
Girl, I'll say this. I lost 20 pounds last year. I gained 20 pounds this year and read 20 books. I mean, listen. I don't know what it is about 20. Gained 20 pounds, read 20 books in 2020.
There it is. It's a 20 in there somewhere.
I mean, you know, I've dealt with shame about that. Like, girl, you had abs. You were fine. And now but, you know, that's life. I know what I need to do to get back there.
Bianca said she won her first competition. She did. I won't go say it, but she said it. Okay. Back to reading.
Thank you, B.
So we were talking about Audible, which is interesting about the audio books. And so to me, this conversation is changing my perception. In my mind, I almost feel like Audible or audio books are cheating. But this is not true.
I mean, just where I'm at in my life is a no judgment zone, right? And so in the bookstagram world, some people say it's not, you know, you're not really reading if you're listening.
Okay.
You don't tell me. If I say it's reading, then doggone it, it's reading. Yeah. Literacy is reading, listening, and writing. It's all literacy.
Mm.
When you learn to read, you got to listen.
Mm.
When you go to college, you go to college and you just get the books and you read. No, you listen to a professor.
Yeah.
So if you go through the whole year and you don't actually open a physical book, that's your business.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you listen, somebody, what's the last book you read? Oh, I just read Monday's Not Coming. If you can tell them what it was about, that was a reading experience.
Mm.
Now, some other bookstagrammers might have a totally different opinion, which is fine. We can all live our life and think how we want to think. But for me, I think that there needs to be grace in regards to people who feel pressure to read. And
Yeah.
It is possible that everybody doesn't have time to read, possibly.
Mm.
But I don't think it's possible that everybody doesn't have time to listen. You always have time to listen.
Okay.
You're either in a car, you can listen to a book. You're going for a walk, you can listen to a book. You're walking to the train. There's always time to listen. So, and there are some bookstagrammers who, they'll say, I read 100 books. Well, really, they probably read 70 and listened to 30.
Okay.
But to each his own. So, girl, you listen to your books.
I will. And listen, I'm just like watching these comments. Lots of people are agreeing with you. There are people who are like, no, books, and that's it. And I agree. I think to each his own. Lindsay said, oh, shoot, I'm about to have a bunch of reading experiences. So
Yes.
this conversation. Some people retain better when they're listening instead of reading. That's very true, too. So
Well, that's like you, when you talked about just not being focused. And this what's crazy is when a book doesn't have an audio, I shy away. And I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I shy away from reading the book because I'm like, I need the audio.
yeah.
So
You gonna have me? I haven't done an audiobook ever before, so I'm at least gonna dabble. I'm gonna dabble in it. Okay.
yeah, dabble. And sometimes I listen to audiobooks based on the narrator.
Mm.
So, the authors get a lot of props, but those narrators can bring a story to life. Now, I've listened to some really bad audio experience where you hear their spit and you hear their saliva, and it's like, girl, do you need to spit in a cup?
The rinse before.
But then I've read some where like the narrators, they're actresses
Mm.
and actors, and they're excellent. And yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, well, you just changed my whole everything. Okay, so let's talk about gifting in terms of books. I know you and I had like a brief chat about it before, but so I think books are sort of an underrated gift. Not all the time. It depends on who, but generally speaking, I don't know that books are the first thing unless there's like that one hot book that came out. I was a kid, but anytime there's a kid who needs to get a gift, my mom always has books in part of it. But if we're talking holiday, we're talking, friends with all different lifestyles and passions. How can the different like genres of books kind of fit different people?
Yeah, well, I believe that there's a book for everyone.
Okay.
And so, that could be the person that doesn't have time to read. Well, there's an audio book for them. There's a person who doesn't have time to read or doesn't read, but they're into home decor. Then there's a coffee table book you can buy for them. A few coffee table books that are out. Black Futures is a beautiful book. Glory is about just beauty and blackness.
Yeah.
There's one more I can't think of. Glory, Black Futures, and it'll come to me. There's one more that's out. So coffee table books for people that are into home decor, people who don't have time to read audiobooks. And then I'm a fiction girl. I love fiction and memoirs. Fiction and memoirs. I love to read about people's lives and people's stories. People be going through some shit. You look at them and you may think like, oh, their life is so, but meanwhile they were molested and they had to take care of it. And so there are some beautiful memoirs. A few I want to share. Memorial Drive by Natasha. I know I'm going to say her last name wrong. But Memorial Drive is really good. The Beauty and Break. Now these are memoirs. The Beauty and Breaking
Okay.
is really good. I don't have it. Should be on the way. I think somebody that's watching is going to send it to me. But Heavy by Kiese Layman is top notch. And these are some of these books I haven't read, but they're like the buzz in the bookstagram world. And they're all Black authors. So The Beauty and Breaking, Memorial Drive, Heavy by Kiese Layman.
Okay.
Memoirs. And then as far as fiction, now this one, if you kind of want to just kind of dibble, Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson. Her daughter is actually at Howard right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her daughter is at Howard. It's a quick, easy read. And this book has about 3 or 4 narrators on the Audible, audio book.
Yes.
And you know the woman, do you watch Power?
Yes.
Okay, you know the Black attorney, the lady?
Yes. Yes, she has a very distinct voice.
She is one of the narrators.
That's nice. She's a good.
Yeah. When I was listening, I'm like, I know that voice.
Yes.
So I looked up her name and I looked up her IMDb, you know, the actor's resume, and she was on there. And I really like this book because it has a lot of connections or references to Blackness. So HBCU, the grandmother went to Spelman, the father went to Morehouse. It talks about their love story. The father was an Alpha, the mother was an AKA. Okay. But there's a mention of Delta in there. Okay. The girl, she doesn't pledge Delta, but the mom, she makes a statement like, because she was telling the little girl, I don't think she's like us. And I think Red at the Bone actually has some undertones. Okay, so
the book, is it about this family and their story? A lot of people are commenting they love this book, so I just want to get a little synopsis.
Yeah. This is look at the cover.
I know. I love the color.
Yeah. Help me. What was I saying? Oh, right. So the main character, she gets pregnant as a teenager. Okay. And she doesn't get to have her coming out, her debut. She doesn't get to do the debutante ball or whatever. Okay. So her white dress, her daughter wears it. Oh, wow. Okay. And so the story opens up with her daughter, you know, at the debutante ball. Was in the house. I don't know what they call it, but and so when her daughter puts on the dress, they're going through the story of the life. So the daughter, you know, her dad was successful, Alpha, mom, everybody was successful. And it's like, you know, when you have 2 successful parents,
a little pressure.
Right. You ain't supposed to have but you know what I mean? Like, so they were disappointed, and that's what the story is about. But it's really good. It's real life. It's fiction, but
it's very like relatable to real life. Yeah. Ages Galore said Jacqueline's an AKA.
She is. Yep.
Yes. Okay, let's see. We did audiobooks, table books, memoir, and that's
self-help. So if you like, and you know, I told you I can get excited, so just be like, okay, Tree, it's time to go.
But we do still have a little bit of it.
Okay.
Still got a little bit. Okay.
Self-help, small doses. Amanda said, first of all, look at that cover.
Oh, look, that's Amanda. I didn't even realize she had a book.
Yeah. So her podcast is called Small Doses. And if you've ever listened to her podcast, when you read the book, it's like you're reading the script of her podcast. Okay. But it's really good. It's definitely pop culture self-help. I mean, she talks about a lot: sex, the body, giving you know what. Like it's funny. It's a good book.
Okay. Yes, I'm trying to see comments. Let's see. Yeah, Lord said there is truth in fiction. Yep. Love a good Books with Meg said, "Woo, love a good self-development book." The Nuggets mom, yes, said, "Thanks to you, I purchased this book." Let's see.
Hey.
Oh, Ty has to leave. Thanks for joining, Ty.
Thank you, Ty.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I did not know Amanda Seales had a book. She's so like multifaceted. Beginning of last year, she dropped her comedy special on HBO. Like, yeah,
She's a triple threat. She can sing, she can dance, she can act, she can
oh,
write. Oh, and the pictures in the book, she actually drew. Like, let me show you one. For
wow.
example, like she drew this.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
So if you follow her and you see she has like a lot of art on her wall, I think a lot of that is her original work. But I mean, she's an artist. Amanda Seales is art.
Yes, that's dope. Okay, fashionably. Oh, right, fashionably trees. Oh, my fashion Christmas tree. But of course, just as aside, sure we can. So let me tell you, this is new. I just got her like last.
That's beautiful.
She's there we go, like this. Oh, she's 5 feet tall, so you can't really see it. She's like gold. I put purple in myself, but that about 3 or 4 years ago, I saw a similar like tree at a TJ Maxx, and then there was a mini next to it. I saw it in the store. I was like, "That's cute. Maybe I'll get it. I don't know. I'll think about the mini." Walk around the store in 15 minutes. Like,
It was gone.
Gone. Both of them gone. So for the past like 3 years, I've been every year at Christmas. I'm like online. Like, is it a dress Christmas tree? A dress form? I don't know. My mom was in a store in Michigan like last weekend and sent me a picture. Like, look at this display. Isn't this cute? I was like, where are you? He doesn't respond, but the picture had the tag with the name on it. I immediately looked it up online, and I was like, I have to.
Yeah.
So I usually get a real tree, but I changed it up this year, and she feels so much like me. So that's
really pretty. Very fabulous.
Thank you. Oh, and At Home was the store that I found it in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
we have those in Texas.
Okay. So I think we covered a lot of. Were there any other categories you were going to get to for people? That was great, though.
Fiction. Britt Bennett from the Vanishing Half. This is one of the top books of 2020.
Oh wow.
Yep, Vanishing Half. She won some award, like the best book. I don't know if somebody knows. Then, yeah. So great. This is a really good one, and that cover is like fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah, the artwork is beautiful on so many.
Yeah.
So beginning of the year, you didn't know about bookstagramming. You weren't even like, wasn't a goal. In the first quarter, you're in. Like, this is it. So, what do we have in store, or what do you have? Even personal goals or anything for 2021? Reading, bookstagramming, anything?
You know what? Staying sane.
Yeah, that's real, especially.
Girl, yeah, staying sane. Learning how to manage my emotions. I mean, I don't have any grandeur. I just want to be right in my mind. And right in my heart.
Yep.
And that's that. And if I can read some books along the way and post about them, awesome.
Well, keep reading and posting, because now I'm about to follow you even more closely. Audiobooks are not off limits. This helps to change a lot for me. But I thank you for your time, Dree. This has been amazing. I learned so much, and everyone, you guys, you learned a lot. This has been awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, last question. Have you learned anything about yourself in the midst of this journey that with booking and reading?
Oh, have I learned something about myself? Oh, I feel bad. I don't have an answer. Um,
I guess one, and this is not being in conversations with you for this whole period, but I
mhm.
think it's been what you are able to do. Like you're able to accomplish maybe more than you think, even just like reading 20 books in like 9 months. Like that's so amazing. So maybe
Mhm.
I could be wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
It's hard for me to accept small victories or accomplishments, you know.
Oh, well, you should do that more. It's baby steps. It's still like a step forward.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yes. Yes. Okay. The next, this is encouraging me to really be intentional in what I read. Ooh, good point. Yes.
And read what you love, you know.
And Jacob said, thanks for the support. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you for having me. I feel so special.
Of course. This has been a great conversation. So,
Yes, thank you for having me.
of course. And thank you everyone for joining. And have a great happy holiday.
Yay, you too. You too.
Thank you. Oh, Chantel said, great. Love you both. Love you too, Chantel.
Love you too.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right, bye.